and I think all I've eaten today is bacon and drank rock stars. That's my life.
You're like the most visible dude in real estate right now. Everywhere I look, you're like, I see you. You've got your whiteboard. You're talking about numbers and strategy and tax. So first of all, I just want to say thank you.
Oh, thanks.
As busy as you are, to come on and share and contribute and just be and collaborate with us and be very transparent. It's been great. I've learned a ton. I'm expecting to learn a lot on this call, and for all of you guys on, this is just, a real treat to have Mark Kohler on with us today. So thank you so much for joining us, and let's get right into it, man.
Let's do it. And I did a background. I went country for you today, and I wanted to look like Kevin Costner on Yellowstone. So I brought this in for you.
Love it.
Yeah. I've got, 20,000 acres out back. So yeah, there we go. All right. Okay, everybody.
It's the wild, wild west. I mean,
it is. Right? It is the wild, wild west. Okay, let's hit the article that just went live this morning. Thanks, guys. My video team just got me hooked up. Kane, you're sticking around. Thanks. I've got my personal realtor, my daughter, Sydney Kohler, in the house with me too. She's taking notes. She's awesome. And I want to say thanks to you, Kevin, and Mark of Real Estate out in California, and Real Closers. Love you guys. Love what you're doing. My heart goes out to many of you too. It's brutal. I know many of you are struggling, and it's so hard. And I think this is the best thing you can be doing is collaborating, getting on every webinar and conference call you can with your leaders. And Kevin, and I know he's just working around the clock trying to help everybody in his personal organization and everybody at Real Closers networking. So keep it up. Don't give up. Keep working hard. So this article, it took me 2 nights trying to keep up with the SBA and the Treasury Department and writing an article, updating my 8 strategies, which was last week. Now I got 10 because we got a lot to talk about. And you saw in the news today, the SBA is out of money. Now Congress is in there debating. If you want to call Nancy Pelosi, if you've got her cell phone number and text her and say, pass the bill, we could use an extra $250 billion. We could use that. And I know many of you have applications in with your bankers on the PPP. Now this is going to be live Q&A. We're going to go an hour. We're going to keep it tight, and we got a lot to cover. So Kevin, again, I'm going to come back to you periodically every 5 or 10 minutes, if not more frequently, and let's just do Q&A.
Yep.
These 10 topics, I could do a freaking webinar on each one. So I'm going to just lay out the 10, and then I'm probably going to just focus on you, the realtor, as what your main options are. And we'll see how that goes. Kevin, what do you think? Sound okay?
Yeah, I think that's great. Let's do that. And then if there's any questions, I'll jump in and we'll just flow with it. And
okay.
Now, at the end too, so.
Okay, I'm going to use the whiteboard here, which darkens me a little because this white reflects off, but it makes me look less pasty white. I've got my quarantine tan, which is pasty white, so it's not good. All right. And I've got my quarantine cut, right? I have not been able to get in with my hairstylist for 2 weeks, so I'm doing all I can here, people, but okay. Here's the 10, and it's sick that I'm going to try to do these by memory because it's become my life lately. Number 1, and we could, again, field questions in all these areas. We've got our stimulus checks. What's going on there? Have you gotten yours? Why haven't you? What can you do to get it quicker? Number 2, I'm going to talk about, at some point, it's in the article, and we may get into it, is SBA loan forbearance. Now, what that is if some of you already had an SBA loan, maybe for your business or a rental property. I've got 2 rental properties were SBA loans, 6 months, no payments. The government's making it for me. It's automatic. You don't have to apply. I'm going to leave it at that. It's a big topic. Dive into it in the article. But any of you that already have an SBA loan before this freaking disaster, make sure you're not making that payment and you're coordinating with your bank. Number 3, and I've had a lot of realtors that are considering this, and some it's a good move, some it's not. Unemployment. Should you go get in line for unemployment until your next closing? Fair question. We got to talk about it. Number 4 is when we start taking the lid off of what's called the EIDL, and that's the economic injury disaster loan. We all thought we were going to get 10 grand a week ago, and then the freaking SBA pulled the carpet out for a nurse, and now it's $1,000 per employee. Worth applying for, we'll see.
Yeah.
Next, we've got the PPP. Now, that's a big one for the realtor or the broker. And we're going to talk about the different types of realtors and brokers out there and where and when you might want to use this. Now, the newest, hottest one that I'm talking about is the acronym, and I want to get my acronym down right, is the Employee Retention Tax Credit. The employee, I'm going to write it out so everybody can start memorizing this. Employee Retention Tax Credit. And I'm going to give kudos to my daughter, Sydney. I think it was it last night? She's like, Dad, you got to talk to this buddy of mine. He's got a new he's tearing the stimulus apart. And I think this is working for the newer realtors. And I'm like, all right. Because I've been hyper-focused on these other 8. And Sydney's like, let's deal with it. And I was like, oh, I just want to watch Netflix for an hour. And then we broke it down. And I think it's a good one. So we're calling that the ERTC. And it's out there, but no one's writing articles on it. You're going to see an article from me in the next 24, 48 hours if I can get it done. Okay, number 7. Whew. Okay, now, where do I want to go? I'm going to go with the emergency paid sick leave. We could do the Family Medical Leave Act. Those can come into play at some point. Then we've got the, number 9. I got to get my number 9. I'm embarrassed here, Caden. I got to remember my 10. I knew I was going to do it from memory and forget one because I keep talking about all of them. Number 9 is the payroll tax deferral. And there's a reason why you need to know this, people. Hang with me. And I'm going to make a major point here in a second. Some of you are like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so boring. No, it's not. I'm going to hook you up. Just be patient. And gosh darn it, what's my freaking number 10? Okay, unemployment, stimulus tax, SBA loan forbearance, unemployment, EDIC, PPP, employment. My 10 will come to me. It's in the article.
I got the rest.
You got the article there. What is it?
Yeah, so you got stimulus checks, economic injury, direct disaster loan, payment protection program, SBA loan forbearance, increased access to retirement accounts.
Retirement accounts. There we go. So we're going to talk about that. Retirement accounts. How can I forget that one? We got a big conference this weekend. We're doing virtual on that. Okay, retirement plan access. All right. Now, here it is, everybody. Some of you may go, what? There's 10 strategies? Yes, it's not just the PPP, which is everybody's hot and bothered about. In fact, taking on the PPP could be a bad thing for some of you. I'll even say this, and I'm a huge fan of Dave Ramsey. I've had his daughter on my radio show. I can't get Dave yet, but Dave Ramsey's like, don't touch it. He's like, the government will screw you over. It's a loan, and if you get it all forgiven, great, but who knows? Now, Dave Ramsey is anti any type of loan. I don't think I could, he'd borrow $5 from me if he was in a soup line. The guy's anti-loan, which you as realtors know, having some debt and good debt can make you money. So I'm just saying, there's some people out there that are saying, stay away from the PPP. So hang tight. So these 10 things, this is why I want all of you after this webinar. You may think it's like, drinking castor oil or, some sort of gross medicine, but you've got to check out my article. Just flow through the 10. It's easy reading. I try to be funny in it and make a few satirical jokes or whatever. I'm a dorky CPA, so be patient, but let's try to get through those 10, even on your own. I've got webinars I'm shooting every other day or a YouTube vid, and I'm doing Facebook and YouTube Lives. I've got my podcast, and I'll give you more resources at the end of this. Whew. Kevin, sound okay? So there's the big picture. So everybody's kind of, got to know what's going on here. Now, if I had, I'm going to shoot from the hip here, Kevin. If I had, and I'm just going to get this out, people, then we'll do a Q&A. If I had 3 or 4 types of realtors out there, what would I recommend? Let's say number 1 is our brand new realtor. And I'm going to say the sole proprietor. And I was with another group the other day, and they said probably 80% of realtors out there are in group 1. And group 1 is a realtor that's a sole prop. You're getting a 1099. You might have a little LLC, but that's it. LLCs do not save taxes, people. LLCs give you protection, legitimacy. You can build some corporate credit, yada, yada, yada. But an LLC, and sometimes we call it a single member LLC, doesn't save you any money. Now, some of you are like, well, my LLC is taxed as an S Corp. Then you've got a freaking S Corp. Don't tell me you have an LLC. An LLC taxed as an S Corp is an S Corp. So just remember that. So I'm going to go single member LLC. This realtor, maybe last year you made 30 to 40 grand net, let's just say, okay? Maybe you brought in 50 grand, 10 grand in expenses, 20 grand. We wrote off everything under the sun, that sort of situation. All right. And Kevin, I want you to tell me if I'm missing a group here. Number two is kind of your, I'm going to say the mid-size realtor. This is your mid-size car. Okay. I'm just shooting from the hip here. I haven't done a little diagram like this, but I think it'll help out you guys here at Real Closers. The mid-size realtor has made the jump to the S Corp, and it makes sense. That's where I want my realtors that are an S Corp or an LLC taxed as an S Corp. Now, for some of you who are like, I've never even heard of this, we got to talk when this is all over. And I'll be back to Real Closers, I'm sure. I've been teaching realtors for 20 years, freaking love them. I own rental property. My daughter's a realtor. It's the dream of my life that I had one kid that became a realtor. So, all right. Now, this person out there, you're probably netting about 100 grand or more. So I'm going to say you're netting 100 grand to maybe 200. And what you're doing in an S Corp is you're taking part W-2 and part K-1. Now, I'm not saying Kevin's in this price range, but Kevin, that's you, right? You're an S Corp.
Yes.
Okay. And what we do with this is we save the F word, FICA. We don't want to pay FICA. We hate FICA, everybody. So we don't want to pay that. So this is my mid-sized realtor. And I've got a strategy here for you. Now, number three is my broker or advanced realtor, or I'm going to, what should I call him, Kevin? Kind of like your.
Like a team lead? Like a team. Who are you referring to? Are we talking about?
Well, this is going to be the realtor or broker that's making 300 grand plus.
Okay. There's a lot of individual agents that are doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Agents, brokers, and I'm going to say advanced.
Okay. And what about team? Like we could have a team leader in there too. People that have teams, they have agents that are on their team. They could be a broker. It could be a team leader.
Team leader. Sure. I like it. Okay. But this person, they're making 300 grand plus.
Yep.
Net. And many of you, you're going to get there. You stay working hard. I've told my daughter that and she's like, I don't see it, Dad. I'm like, hang in there. It'll happen. Right. Okay. Now these three agents have three different routes to take. Which one do you want to start with, Kevin? You
Just
call.
start from the beginning.
All right, now I'm going to hit the quickies. I'm just going to tell you what to do, and then we can answer questions in the process. Okay, so realtor number one, and that's our beginner. Or, you know, maybe you've been a realtor a couple of years. LLC, you're making 40 grand, maybe you're hitting it part-time or you're going hard, but you're just figuring it out. I think you've got two options, maybe three. Option one is you go claim unemployment.
As a 1099.
Yes, this is your 1099 realtor. This is your just a sole prop.
Yeah.
You're a sole prop. Now, you're not going to walk into the unemployment office with a 1099.
Right.
And if you want to go do the PPP, we're going to think about that. And then the other one I want to do is the payroll. I always get the employee retention tax credit. Now, you guys are going to love this. Okay, those are your three options. Now, you got your stimulus check, yada, yada. We can go there if you guys want to talk about it. Now, here's the unemployment equation. To go claim unemployment, now you get a federal kicker. Well, let's start with the state. You have to apply through the state. Some of you have never applied for unemployment. I freaking, in the last 3 weeks, I've become an unemployment expert because I'm like, my clients don't claim unemployment. They make money. I help you make money and save taxes. So this has been kind of weird, but so I had to brush up on my unemployment rules. But you apply through the state. You apply through the state. The state benefits are going to range from $250 to $550 across the country. And then for the next 12 weeks, you get a $600 kicker. This is $250 to $550 a week plus $600 a week with the Fed for 12 weeks. And that's the kicker. You could be making $1,100 a week, $4 grand a month on unemployment. This is where Lindsey Graham on the floor of the Senate was going berserk saying, I got people in freaking North Carolina making more money on unemployment than with a job. Who's going to go back to work when I can sit back and make $1,100 a week, right?
Yep.
Now, for some of you that are a realtor, you're saying, I don't have a closing foreseeable in the next 2 months. You know, you're working your pool, things have slowed down a little bit, and you're like, I'm going to sit back for 3 months. Now, you're not going to sit back on your thumb. You're going to keep working on your business plan, your marketing plan, and networking, but you may not have a closing for 3 months. Go claim unemployment. Now, that doesn't mean you can go get a W-2 job on the side, and if you get a closing, you're off unemployment because you made money. Because once you make money, you're not unemployed anymore. So you got to be careful there. But for some of you that are just like, I'm going to hang up the hat for 3 weeks. I got to lick 3 months. I'm going to lick my wounds, but I'm going to keep networking. I'm going to come to all the webinars. I'm going to follow Kevin. I'm going to do my thing. That would be a fair decision.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Is that something new? Or the 1099 filing for unemployment? Is that what?
Yeah, freaking. Okay, now on that note, I go through this in the article. We've had clients across the country that have gotten in to the unemployment office, got unemployment. Others rejected because the states around the country, they've never had to deal with this. The federal government said, you small business owners, you can go claim unemployment. You're like, I don't have a W-2, doesn't matter. You can go claim unemployment, and states are freaking out. Now, here's the way you have to deal with this. And whether you do the PPP or you do unemployment, here's your first step. You've got to file your 2019 tax return. There's no way in hell you're going to get the PPP or unemployment without your 2019 1040 Schedule C.
What if someone's on an extension? Doesn't matter.
Say it again.
What if they're on extension?
Forget it. You're not going to extend. I need your tax return tomorrow, people, because you cannot get the PPP and you cannot get unemployment without getting your return done. Now, I know you realtors, I know you hate doing taxes. You hate doing your books. You hate even thinking about QuickBooks. I know you, but you got to freaking buckle down the next 2 nights, if not sooner, and sit down with an Excel spreadsheet, go through all your credit cards, all your bank statements, and put together what's called a P&L. That's a profit and loss statement. Income minus all your expenses. Get your spouse's W-2, your other income, whatever the hell it is. Go to TurboTax, TaxSlayer, H&R Block, Liberty. I do not care. And get your Schedule C done. And your Schedule C is your 1099 minus all your expenses, and that's going to give you your net. That number tells you what your unemployment is, not your 1099. You walk into unemployment with the 1099, they're going to go, get out of here. And then you're going to complain and go, Mark, I can't get unemployment. No, you showed up with the wrong freaking paperwork. You got to have your tax return done.
Okay.
Okay. Now, that's option 1. Now, option 2 is some of you are like, I'm going to go for the PPP. Now, if you made 40 grand last year, now that's what I said, right? That's what I said. This group, you're making around 40 grand net max. So if that's net 40 grand, you can go to a bank. Now we hope Congress comes through with another round of money. I know they will. They're not going to leave these thousands of people in with their applications. It's going to be freaking a mob.
Yeah.
It's going to go nuts. So if you go to PPP, now on this, let me just give you the rundown. You don't go to SBA.gov. You're going to go to a bank. I've been recommending local banks, credit unions, small banks. Go in. You're going to fill out your application. You're going to go for the PPP. And what the equation is you take your net income, divide it by 12, and multiply it by 2.5. That is your PPP. Now, if you made 40 grand last year, your PPP is going to be $8,333. Don't get visions of grandeur. The government's going to write you a check for 8 grand. Go do it. Get it done. The problem is you've got to spend that by paying yourself, which is fine, but unemployment at $4,000 a month times 3, do the math, that's 12 grand. And you're like, I might go unemployment. But if you've got a closing looming and you're going to still get out there and make some money probably, then you're going to go grab the 8 grand. It'll be forgiven. You got to follow the rules. You're going to have to stay in touch with me, people. The webinars in 4 weeks here at Real Closers is going to be more important than this freaking webinar because we got to get that money forgiven. So Kevin, we'll be back, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
We need to.
Thanks, man. Okay. So that's option 2. Now I've done a full hour webinar on PPP. You can go to YouTube and get it. You can hang and, read my article and all that. But the PPP just got open for you guys. The small business owner that's a sole prop. Literally 3 days ago, they opened the doors and then they shut the door today.
That money's gone, right? As of right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now the banks, anybody that had their application in with the banks, they're holding them. And then when the Congress approves more money, they're the first in. Banks are not accepting apps right now. They're going to wait until Congress approves more money. You want to be in line at the bank and find your banker and say, now, and some of you, again, I've talked about this so much. For some of you that are Wells Fargo or Chase or B of A, you might want to go there. If you have an established relationship somewhere, you'll go there. But if not, go to the local credit union. Local regional banks are going to probably want you and help you better than a Wells Fargo.
And is that just because Wells Fargo is big retail institution, wait in line, follow the rules, that, okay. And then
Totally
a smaller bank is,
okay.
it's going to be able to be more flexible. Got it.
All right. Now, here's the last strategy. Now, this is good. Kevin, this is going to blow your mind. You're going to love this. The ERTC, Employee Retention Tax Credit. The government's saying, hey, if you don't claim unemployment and you're willing to bypass PPP, but you keep working and you hire some other employees and maybe even yourself, we'll give you a credit of 50% up to $10,000 of payroll per employee. So if you go out and keep working hard, because they want you to work, they
Right.
don't want you to claim unemployment. So
Right.
if you're a realtor and I got a couple of closings coming down the pipe, I really can't claim unemployment. I don't want to hang up my hat. I don't know how much money I'm going to make this year. I might do the employee retention tax credit because I can pop you on payroll for 10 grand, get you 5 grand, bing, refundable tax credit. And if I put your spouse on payroll, bing, another 5 grand. So I just pulled in 10K, which is better than PPP. You didn't have to claim unemployment and you're off to the races. Now, what I do in the ERTC strategy, and Kevin knows this, when I have a newer realtor, I like you to become an LLC right now. We start 2020. We see how it goes. If you start, we know the fall's going to be huge. Real estate's going to come back with a vengeance. Everybody's going to start buying again. People that are hurting are going to sell. It's going to be a buyer's market. It's going to be mayhem out there. And you want to be in line, ready to help all these investors that want to buy properties. It's going to be sweet. When that hits, you might make more than 40 grand. I will convert your LLC into an S Corp, pop you on payroll for 40 grand, save self-employment tax with your K1 and get you a refundable tax credit of 5 grand. And I may put your spouse, your kid, your mom, whoever that's legitimately helping you. And every person I put on payroll, you get a $5,000 tax credit for the $10,000 you pay them. Now you're not going to just pay someone for the hell of it, but that's 5 grand.
Right.
So we can start cashing in on these 5Ks. And that's going to be better than PPP and less headache.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir. I'm all yours. That's option 1. That's our brand new realtor, which is probably the bulk of everybody on the phone. So let's play with that for a bit.
Okay. So we have some questions here. I know we said questions at the end.
No, all the way along. This is good. This is good.
Okay, so the 10 grand. So they get 50%. That's $5,000. 50% of the 10 grand. So how does, do you have to pay the person 10 grand a month, a year? Like, how does that work?
A year. Just
Okay.
10 grand.
10 grand. So a minimum
Yeah.
$10,000 a year salary, you get 50%. So the maximum you're going to get is $5,000.
Yep.
So who's getting paid 10 grand a year? Nobody, right? Everyone's obviously people getting paid way more than that. So the maximum you're going to get is $5,000.
That's right. But
Okay.
again, now Kevin, this is why you're going to do this and you're going to freaking love this. This is working right into Mark Kohler's system that I've been teaching for 10 years or 20 years for realtors.
All right.
Because when I get with Kevin's group, my new realtors that start to make more than 40 grand, what's the first tax that's going to kick their butt, Kevin?
The first tax is going to
Starts with an F word. It's the F word.
Federal tax.
FICA. FICA. Come on, you're killing me, Kevin. You know this. And Kevin knows me, so I've just got him on the spot. He's like, Mark, don't ask me questions. You're going to make me look bad. Okay. So what I want my new realtors to do is we build the trifecta. Their trust is at the bottom. Their LLCs for rentals are over here. Their S Corp, which may have graduated from a sole prop or an LLC, is going to grow into an S Corp. And soon as that client makes 50, 60 grand net, 40 grand net is my break even. So here's the cool part. If I've got a client that's making, let's say 60 grand net, and I know, Kevin, you got realtors all day long doing that, and they're getting hosed with self-employment tax Because when they make 60 grand, they got to pay 0.153 in SE tax right out of the gate. That's 9 grand. Then they got to pay state and they got to pay Fed, right? They're getting killed.
Yeah.
Mark Kohler gets a hold of them. And I don't care if you're in California and the freaking $800 a year, deal with it. I'm going to save you, because when you do that S Corp and you bring in your 80, spend 20 and net 60, I'm going to give you salary of 30 and K1 of 30. I just cut your self-employment tax in half.
Right.
I just saved you $4,500. Let me get this straight. Spend a couple grand every year maintaining an S Corp, save $4,500. Now I know there's hard math here. Work with me. Save $4,500, spend 2. I think you get the math.
Right.
That's why calling a tax attorney rather than effing around on freaking TurboTax and LegalZoom, I'm going to save you.
Right.
This is what I've been teaching for years. Okay, now here's the beauty, Kevin. So you got a realtor that's going to have a self-employment tax problem anyway. They didn't want to go for the PPP. It's too much of a headache. They didn't make enough, and they didn't want to go claim unemployment. So we work them right into the S Corp. We get our 60 grand net, 30 grand in W-2. Oh, I just got a $5,000 tax credit. Boom. Then, this is my realtor, probably married, if single, maybe it's their mom or dad they're helping out. I pop their spouse on payroll. If I pay my spouse, Jennifer, 5 grand, I pay my wife, Jennifer, 10 grand, I just got another $5,000 tax credit. I made $10,000 to pay her $10,000. Oh, but Jen's going to not get paid $10,000. I'm going to drop it in the 401k that we have, a little solo 401k. So her W-2 is 0, but she dropped it in the 401k, which allows me to get the $5,000 tax credit. I paid 0 tax on the 10 grand, and I got 10 grand to boot.
Wow. Love it. Mike,
You know what I'm saying?
I love that. So there's a lot of numbers there. If anybody has any further questions, of course, we're going to share the information. I mean, you're like flowing, man. This is your world here, so I totally get it. And
yeah,
but it makes sense. I mean, you're walking away
with. Let me
with.
say this simply, everybody. I know you're realtors and you can sell houses all day long, but here's the point: if you're a sole proper LLC, you're going to pay the F word, FICA, first and foremost, 15% of everything you make. If I make you an S Corp, now I can only pay FICA on half or less of what you make. So I just saved you thousands of dollars. And guess what? When you're an S Corp, you're an employee. So I can pay you at least 10 grand, which I'll do. You just made 5.
Yeah.
What are you going to fund? You're going to fund a solo 401k. Boom. We get your spouse on payroll. Boom. So I'm just saving money like 8 different ways.
Right. In increments. I love it. Okay.
All right.
One last question on this, and then I'd like to move on to number 2 or 3. We could talk about which one's going to go first. On the employment thing, where you're employing someone, the minimum is $10,000 a year. Of course, they're going to get paid more than that. Then you get the $5,000. Does that have to be an employee, or could it be a regular 1099? Because a lot of us hire 1099. So how does that?
It has to be a real employee.
Got it.
So I know some of you are like, oh, I'll hire a subcontractor for 10 grand and make 5. Nope. They have to be legit W-2. Now, guys, this is not a bad thing. I know many are like, I don't want to hire employees. It's a W-2. And the first person you're going to hire is yourself.
Right.
That's it. There's 5 grand right there. Then the next person you're going to hire is only for 10 grand. And you're going to hire your spouse, your college student child, your parent. You're going to pay them 10 grand for helping out on your board of directors. W-2, because you're doing a W-2 for yourself. So popping in someone else for 10 grand is easy schmeezy. And you just made another 5K.
And you can hire.
When you're married with kids, it gets off the chart.
Okay, so that was where I was going. So you can hire as many. If it's a kid, if it's a spouse, they're working for you. You can hire them. Okay, so 3 kids, they're all going to be my employees. I'm sure there's some rules around that. We don't have to go too deep into that. I want to get into number 2 and 3, the 2 agents or the different level agents. But go ahead, finish your thought on that, and then
I'll just do a quick diagram. This is Mark Kohler's master diagram that many of you will see on YouTube and with me. And we'll just say it real quick. This is and this is a good transition, Kevin. As I go from realtor that's starting out making 40 grand or less to stage 2, this is what their life starts to look like. Because what we're going to do is graduate them from a sole prop to an S corp. It's not an S corp with a T, by the way. That's what happens in Vegas and stays in Vegas. This is an S corp. Peter, Paul, and okay. S corp. Okay. Now, I know I threw some of you off. You're just like thinking of your last juggernaut to Vegas, but this is not it. Okay. All right. You're going to take a W-2. You're going to get a draw. We have a whole system for this that makes it so freaking easy for realtors. Anyway, you're going to get your S corp. Is it hard for you, Kevin, to be an S corp?
No.
No. It's easy. Got a business bank account, take money whenever the hell you want. Okay. That's your S corp. Then you're going to have your trust, your family trust own everything. It's going to own your personal home. It's going to own your LLCs that you're going to buy rentals with, because all my realtors buy rentals. It's part of your retirement strategy that I teach. Then you're going to have a solo 401k, and we're going to put deductions in there. If you're married, we're going to put them on payroll, fund the 401k. If you have adult children, we may 1099 them, but under this new credit, I might just W-2 them. Your kids under age 18, I do not W-2. All kids under age 18 go under family management company, a little entity I set up to hire all the kids. I shelter tax-free money there. No taxes at all. And you get a write-off. Go to YouTube, type Kohler, hire my kids. 2 or 3 vids, you're going to freaking love it. It's in my books.
I'm going to post that in there in the chat as well.
Yep. Okay. So that's the master plan. So as we get into this client, okay. So everybody, let's go back to the top here. All right. I got so many notes here. All right. So realtor number 1, we just talked about you, and we'll do some more Q&A, maybe. Oh my gosh, 15, 20 minutes left. Okay. Mid-size realtor. I just kind of gave you a picture of what your life may look like. And then my big money maker. Okay. Now right here is this structure that you're going to be building. Now, what I'm going to do here at this level, you're going PPP all the way. That's the Payroll Protection Program. And by doing a PPP, I can get you, I take your salary for last year. And if you're making 100 to 200 grand, your salary is going to be more of like a 70 or 80. Mm-hmm. Now I'm taking your 70 or 80K W-2. Now you people, I know you're making 150, but this piece is only on a W-2.
Right.
Then I'm going to divide that by 12 times 2.5. Now the beauty of the S corp, because at this point, people, you're an S corp. We're not talking that brand new realtor.
Right.
This is people in the middle. And if you're like, Mark, I'm not an S corp yet, and I need to be. You got to file your 19 return. You're going to go with the PPP route probably. You're going to get bent over with FICA, and this is a wake up call, and I'm not kidding. For you realtors out there making 100 grand last year, this has been a wake up call at about 9 degrees, right? On how much of in our lives, being prepared, all the bullshit, you know. So this is crazy. So you got to have a consult with me when this is all over. I'm one of my 5 tax lawyers. Okay, so you got your S corp. You're going to get a PPP. Now the beauty of the S corp is before I divide by 12, you get a couple kickers. It's your W-2 plus any health insurance on yourself, premiums, plus any contributions to your SEP or 401k. And my advanced clients are doing that. My realtors that are making 100, 200 grand, they're trying to sock away money as fast as they can and not live with a brand new Range Rover every year, because they know money's coming and going. We got to be careful. I'm teaching financial literacy to almost all my realtors, because you're great at talking and making sales, but we got to keep it's like you're an NBA player. You may only make money 10 years. You got to be ready for year 11. And that's what my realtors, we got to think like.
Right.
So we're going to add all this together. This new total is what we divide by 12 and multiply by 2.5. The maximum you're going to get, and if you don't have any other payroll, some of you may have an assistant, you may have your spouse on payroll. I start taking it to the next level. This number can go up, but your PPP is going to be $20,833 max if you're the only employee. Now with Kevin, what I'd be doing with Kevin, I'm going to have a spouse on payroll. I may have a personal assistant on payroll. So I'm going to be able to get him a bigger PPP. And we're going to jack this thing up as big as we can. And when Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats get around to approving the bill, we're going to be right in line to get our money. And I've got realtors around the country that got their money in the last 7 days.
Yep.
And they're like, whew. So that's plan 2. Now, what's cool about this, Kevin, is because you've been learning and you're doing your S Corp, I might put your spouse on emergency paid sick leave. I might put your spouse on family medical leave. Now I'm using the PPP. I may even put your spouse on unemployment. So when we do a consult, and this is, I got my tax lawyers doing consults in the evenings on Saturday. Some of you are like, I need a consult. We'll give you my phone number if you need it, whatever. Call your professional. If they don't know this, upgrade. But see, I can have a realtor on the line and I put Kevin's wife on unemployment because I could get 12 grand there. Or I may put her on emergency paid sick leave and FLMA because I can get 10 grand under FMLA and emergency paid sick leave up to 5 grand. Ooh. And I can still do the PPP. Boom. Now what's cool too is in Kevin's master plan, because he's been doing this, and I know Kevin has retirement accounts, I can say, you know what? We can borrow from the 401k up to 100 grand, take a tax deductible write-off to pay interest back to ourselves. I could take some IRA money, roll it into the 401k, do a Roth conversion, take out a loan to pay my own Roth conversion.
Love it, man.
Now the stimulus package is making us money, people.
I love that. There's some questions, Mark. Do you want me to wait or do you want me to ask?
No, let's do it. What's some Q&A? Let's hit it for a little bit.
Okay, so a couple questions here. The SEP 401k, you said that can be added onto your W-2. You said there was 2 things you could add on. W-2, health, any health
insurance premiums.
And SEP 401k. Is this the 401k contribution? Is that for the year, or is it total?
It's for the whole year. So what you're going to do, people, let me do it one more time for you S Corp owners out there. And by the way, I've got it right here. You're going to love this. This is the PPP application. It's right here. 2 pages, people. 2 pages. That's the PPP application. And all you have to do is check some boxes, put in my salary average per month last year, divided by 12, multiplied by 2.5. Done. Now, when I say average, that's the divide by 12. So what you're going to do is take your gross W-2 for last year. We're going to pull that off box 2 of your 941. And I know I could get this from Kevin in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Because you're an S Corp owner, you got it, right? So box 2, 941. Then I'm going to add to it for the whole year. What was his W-2 for the year, and his spouse and anybody else, children, who knows? I'm going to take that plus health insurance premiums, which in most states we're looking at $800 a month easy, right? Then I'm going to take plus any retirement account contributions by the company, which would be a SEP at 25% your payroll, which is really 20% in this scenario, or 401ks matches. So I take the retirement plan matches, and that total for the whole year, you start there, divide by 12, then multiply by 2.5, and there's your freaking PPP. And it's right here on the front page of the application. You just throw it in.
Perfect. Next question. Adding your spouse. Is that something that can be done now, or is that something that has already had to have been in place?
This is sweet. All right. Now, if Kevin, now let's think about this. This is why it's different for every realtor. If Kevin didn't have his spouse on payroll for last year, is she going to be able to go get unemployment?
No.
Because you have to show you've been employed for 6 months in most states, if not a year. You can't go work at McDonald's tomorrow, quit, and get unemployment. You have to have a base period. So if I have a client that has not hired their spouse in 2019, I can't do unemployment. So I've literally got right here on my phone, Kevin, this is my text right before I started this webinar. I got a client. He's a brother-in-law, so I got to help him. I got to return his text. You know, I won't even return Kevin's text, but I got to return this guy's text. I'm just joking. Okay, so he didn't have his spouse on a W-2 last year. So I said, let's throw your spouse on payroll for the month of April. Okay. So he just paid her yesterday for the first 2 weeks. Then he's going to pay her at the end of April for the next 2 weeks. So she's now been on payroll for a month, which opens the door to the Family Medical Leave Act. Because they've got 4 kids. She's going to stay at home and take care of the kids. He can now pay her up to $200 a day for $10,000 completely refunded by the government.
Wow.
100%.
And that's something that can be done right now, right away.
Right now. But you got to show them on payroll for at least a month. Now, Kevin, this is where I'm going to geek out. Can I geek out for 1 second?
Go for it.
Now let's think about this.
By the way, you have never geeked out ever since I've ever. This is the first.
Here we go. Just to make sure I don't geek out. Now here's the deal. Okay. Anybody take me serious now? All right. Hey, cowboys are serious. They don't screw around. Okay. Now, and because I got the cowboy hat on, I can use farmer swear words like hell and damn. So right, I can go there. And I've asked farmers, is it only farmer swear words on the farm, or if you're a farmer, which one is it? Anyway. Okay. So I'm going to go with a farmer. Okay. Here's the deal. If you could get 10 grand for Kevin's wife for 12 weeks, okay. Well, let's back up. Before I even do this, Kevin, here's the good news. I'm going to put your spouse on emergency paid sick leave for 2 weeks. Then I get FMLA for 10 more weeks. So it's a total of 12 weeks. That's the rule. It's in my article. I'm doing this for clients every freaking day. To get emergency paid sick leave, you only need 1 paycheck. So I can put his spouse on payroll for the first 2 weeks of April, put her on emergency paid sick leave. Oh, but before I do that, if I pay her a whole month, I can get family medical leave. So now I'm getting both. All right. Now,
what's emergency paid sick leave again?
Emergency paid sick leave is up to $500 a day of their regular pay, up to $5,111. Now that's about $65 an hour. So that ain't going to happen. But I back into this, and there's 6 reasons of how you can get emergency paid sick leave. It's in my article that Kevin gave you. Yep. Most of my clients are qualifying in the first 3. They get 100% paid sick leave, and the government reimburses you 100%. So Kevin, you could put your spouse on payroll right now for the last 2 weeks, and then tomorrow pop her on emergency paid sick leave, and the government will pay her paycheck for the next 2 weeks.
Got it.
But we're not going to do that. We're going to wait a whole month. Right. Then put her on emergency paid sick leave. So we grab all of April on payroll, and then when it comes to May, then we do emergency paid sick leave, EPSL, the first 2 weeks, and then we grab FMLA for the next 10. Now, here's why. Here's the geek. If you get family medical leave for 10 weeks, all right, well, how much do I have to pay my spouse? That's the next question. I'm going to tell you. Because if you go, okay, 10 weeks of full time is 400 hours. 10 weeks times 40. All right. Mm-hmm. Now it says the government will reimburse up to 2/3 of whatever their payroll is. So if they normally make X dollars, the government will reimburse 2/3. So I got to make sure I'm hitting 2/3. That's what I want them to get. That's their pay. So 400 hours, 10 weeks, and they're going to do 2/3. Okay, that's cool. Well, how much am I getting paid? Well, if I take 10 weeks times 40, 400 hours, that means to get $10,000, they have to be at least getting paid $25 an hour, because $10,000 is the limit. So that means I get 400 hours at 10 weeks to get $10,000. I got to be 25, but that's only 2/3. Mm-hmm. So how much is my spouse's paycheck? I take $25 an hour and divide it by 0.66. That means my spouse is getting $37 an hour. So my client called me up literally right before this webinar and said, Mark, how much am I paying my spouse again? I go, $37 an hour. For the month of April? Yeah. Well, where's that paycheck going to go? Right back into the family bank account. So it just went out of the business, back into the family bank account. People, this is how you launder money. Are you not watching Ozark? What are you doing with your life? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So we launder the money through the spouse back into the business. But it's legit. I want my spouse helping me in the business. Anybody out there that's upset going, this guy's full of crap. How many of you don't even pay your family members that help in the business?
Right.
This is not a sham.
Right. Right.
This is totally legit. So anyway, we cut a check to her for $29.60 for 2 weeks, and then $29.60 again, and that gets her $13,000 in benefits paid by the federal government. And I'm still getting the PPP for last year.
It's huge.
I'm dropping the pen.
That's amazing. That's awesome. That's so good.
That's why you pay for a consult.
Right.
If it's $200 or $300 or $400 to get your professional to break this down, we've got 10 strategies. That's what you need.
Now, is this in addition to the PPP? It's separate from the PPP?
Yeah. Okay. I'll just blow your mind here. So this same client, listen, I got him the stimulus checks, just making sure that they had their banking information with the IRS. They got $2,400 times 4 kids. They got $4,400. By the way, he had 2 SBA loans on his building and business. It was about $10,000 a month.
Wow.
Contacted his bank, forbeared. They literally make the payment, principal and interest for 6 months, tax-free, 60 grand. Number 3, didn't do unemployment, wasn't on payroll. Yeah, okay. Did the EIDL. The EIDL, which we didn't even get to today, IEDL, is $1,000 per employee. He had about 8 employees last year, 8 grand. Done. Then we got the PPP, which I think he got about 140 grand for the PPP by doing the math.
Mm-hmm.
Then retirement account. Didn't touch it. Didn't want to touch retirement account. Oh, Mark, what about that refundable tax credit thing? If you do the PPP, you cannot do the tax credit or the tax deferral. So we didn't do those. Well, what did we do, Mark? Well, for this client, we then added the emergency paid sick leave and the
Family
Medical Leave Act, which was about 13 grand combined. So look at this, 13 grand, 2 strategies, 140 on the PPP,
right?
3rd strategy, the EIDL for 8 grand, 4th strategy, SBA forbearance, 5th strategy, number 6, stimulus. We got 6 out of the 10. The total, 229 grand of free money.
Wow. It's amazing.
That, and you can do this, people. Now, I've hit a triple, I've hit a quadruple, I've hit a 6. I haven't got above 6 yet. I'm trying to get 7 out of 10, but someday.
Lucky number 7, 8, 9, 10 might be out there somewhere.
That's my dream. I want to get 7.
Man, we didn't get to, gosh, it's 1:59.
Yeah, but we started late. Let's go 5 or 10 more minutes. Questions? What do you got?
Okay, let me see what we have here for questions. One of the questions that I had myself, we answered, it was a 1099 thing. Let me see here. What do we have for questions? Is there a certain resource or link we need to use for the emergency paid sick leave and FMLA? Is there?
When you go, okay, for the emergency paid sick leave and the FMLA, you will apply for that and get the credit when you file your 2nd quarter 941. Now, because this is only going to work for people with S corps. You know what I'm talking about, Kevin, right? Every 3 months, you do your 941. Well, we're doing right now in April, the 941 for 1st quarter. So we're going to look at 2Q, 3Q, and 4Q for the year. In July, when you do 2nd quarter 941, you'll apply and check the box for these and get your refund then. So you have to wait for 3 months to get the refund, but that's okay.
Okay. All right. Here's one that's a little specific, but I'll ask anyway. What if you're brand new, less than a year, and your Schedule C has a negative net? I don't even know what that means, but
okay, that's okay. A Schedule C is part of your 1040. And so my realtor out there, this is okay. A lot of realtors, their first year, they don't make money. They're just getting out spending, learning the ropes, and that's cool. You stick with it. The Schedule C is your business return. And you may have got a 1099, but you had a lot of freaking expenses. So that means your net is a loss.
Right.
All you're going to get is the stimulus check.
The 1,200.
Yeah, whatever. 1,200 if you're single, 24 married, 500 for each kid. You're not going to get the PPP or the EIDL. None of the.
You have to have a net income in order to get money from the government.
Now here, this is a good point. Okay, not all is lost, because remember strategy 9 and 10. Well, the last two that I just added to the strategy. Okay, so let's go back to our beginning. Here's our 10 strategies. What did we talk about? We talked about adding the employee retention tax credit. Remember, if you hire someone, you get $5,000. If you at least pay them 10,
right?
You could still get that before year end.
True.
You could also get the payroll tax deferral, which we didn't even talk about. So if you're a brand new realtor and you had this loss that you're sitting on for 2019, get out there and kick butt. You can't claim unemployment. You're here on this call right now. That's exactly what you should be doing. And get out, keep working hard. Now, by June, if things turn around and you see 7 or 8 closings coming down the pipe and you're going to make 50 grand or more, do not wait till December to call me. Call me right then so we can get you set up before year end so you can cash in. Tax planning does not take place next April. It takes place when you start making money.
Got it. So Mark, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, you're
ask.
doing this, by the way, totally free. There's nothing here. I mean, we just really just want to help. And there's a phone number, guys.
Yep. Oh yeah. If you call me, I'll talk to you for free all night long. No, I won't do that. But what I'm saying,
I meant this is free.
Yeah.
There's not. Yeah.
I'm just playing with you. Yeah. This webinar, I'm here and I'm grateful to be a part. Real Closers, love you guys, and Kevin, just love what you're doing. So I'm here, just wanted to help out the group and build a relationship with many of you. This has been a wake-up call. You haven't listened to your accountant or lawyer for years. I'm here. We got a full-service accounting firm, full-service law firm, and a trust company to self-direct retirement accounts and buy real estate. It's what we've been doing for 20 years. I've got a newsletter. It's free every week. Just went out last night. I know some of you watching this just got it. It went out at 2 a.m. with the link to the article. You can go to my website, markjkohler.com, and you can get to the law firm, accounting firm. There's the number to make an appointment. Just spend an hour with one of my tax lawyers. It's like $300, and we want to save you 20 times that. We normally charge more. We actually reduced it during this crazy quarantine time. And but get the newsletter. Get over to YouTube. I've got over 100 videos. Hit the bell icon. Every time I go live, you get a ping. And I won't tell you, I'm going live today, but you're only going to know if you go to my YouTube channel and hit the bell. And when I go live today, you can get another freaking dose. All I'm doing is Q&A for my live YouTube today. So get over there. It's free, and we're not going anywhere.
And Tim Ray just said best $300 ever, and I agree. And
thank you.
One of the things that a lot of us as agents were guilty of, I was guilty of it myself. I mean, we don't treat our business like a business, like a real business, right? Like you talked about, a lot of realtors, we avoid P&Ls, we avoid accounting. Accounting is the backbone of every successful business. And, with you being here and being on with us, sharing this great information, I just want to say thanks. And to everybody on, take advantage of it. Reach out to Mark. At the very least, sign up for the newsletter, connect on YouTube. But now's the time. Take advantage of this opportunity that we have. I mean, you listed out somebody who was able to get $229,000 in free money, right? Just through these strategies, these tips. So it's a great time.
And Kevin, let me say one thing on that note too, is that even if it's just $5,000, people, $5,000 can be a lifeline to a lot of young people or brand new realtors. $5,000. Just think if someone walked in right now and gave you $5,000, would you not start crying and go, thank you? So this stimulus package, I think for everybody, we can at least get something out of it. And yeah, I'm not going to maybe hit 200 grand with everybody. Absolutely not. But you never know. And some of you could be a great resource to some of your clients. Call all your clients. How are you doing? Have you got a stimulus plan? No. Here's an article. I just was on a webinar with this guy. If you reach out to your clients, top of mind awareness, TOMA, who are they going to think of next time they got a crisis? Oh, I'm going to call Susan. I'm going to call Tom because they thought of me when all hell was breaking loose.
Right. Mark, one last question. What do you think in terms of time frame for all of this that's happening with the stimulus money? And, I mean, there's the bill right now that hasn't been passed yet, but it sounds to me like you think it will be passed with the new funding coming in because now PPP's out of money. What are your kind of crystal ball of this thing? Of course, nobody has a crystal ball, but what are your thoughts overall?
Now, let me see. Let me look at my rock star here. Okay, I've got the answer. I would say this, and I can guarantee this. This is going to be an ongoing process of working with these agencies and forms and governments for at least the next 3 months to 4 months. Hopefully, we've got our economy kickstarted back in gear. I can't wait to go to a sporting event or a concert. I can't even, it seems like a lifetime ago, I was in a dance club or around 50 people, right? It's going to seem weird, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping that happens in the next 4 months. But here's what I can promise you. This is not a one and done process. This is your intervention. You're here knowing that you've got to buckle up, learn this crap, and be participating with your advisors. You can't just delegate this to your advisor and hope they do it all for you, unless you want to write me a big check. And I don't want you to.
Right.
Get engaged. So I can guarantee that you've got to get involved. And I know many of you, you're going to get several to $5,000 to $10,000 to $20,000 of benefit, which isn't chump change.
Yeah. Right on. All right, Mark. Hey, really, really appreciate your time. This was incredibly valuable. I learned a ton. I hope everybody on here, I'm sure with all the questions and
thank you.
Collaboration on here. This is really amazing. Everyone's like, I love this guy. This guy's awesome. So Mark Kohler, guys, reach out to him. The phone number was on. I posted it in the chat, and we'll have to have you back on here soon, man. We'll definitely do that.
Thank you. Keep on, whatever the Cowboys say. Keep on trucking.
There it is. Keep on trucking. Entrepreneur.com. Check out the article, and we'll be back soon. Thanks so much,
Thank you, Kevin.
All right. Take care.
Take care.